Governor LePage, thank you for talking with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
You're doing some amazing things in Maine, and so we can't get to all of it, but let's talk about what you've done on welfare reform. When you came into office, 1 in 3 citizens in Maine were on some form of welfare.
That's
Is that
correct.
right? 1 in 3.
1 in 3. A third of our population was in some form of welfare.
What'd you do? First of all, were you surprised by that?
Yes, enormously surprised. I realized that Maine Care, which was Medicaid, was heavy, and we had a lot of dual eligibles because we have a very old state. We're the oldest state in America. But it was shocking to see the youth that was on it. And so we went to work on getting them to work.
Yeah, and so you started something called Welfare to Work, among other reforms. Tell us about what you think has been most successful in changing the dynamics there and where you are today.
I think that the thing that worked the best and the way that the system sort of evolved was by combining the Department of Health and Human Services, education, labor, and now we're putting in the Veterans Administration in the same building, so that when people come in, we assess them, we do an assessment, we send them for educational assessment, skills assessment, and if they're a veteran. Because many people, particularly in the last decade, most of the soldiers are National Guard. So what we do now is we assess them. We do an intake, we assess their needs, their educational skills, and whether or not, what do they need so they can hold down a job. And so if you're an able-bodied person between the ages of 19 and 50, you are asked to look for work, volunteer, or go to school. And
what's been the result of that?
The 1/3 decided they didn't want to do any of the above, so they left.
How long did that take to happen?
That happened within a couple of months.
1/3 of the people that were on welfare, some form of it, said we're out of it because we don't want to have to do these requirements.
And they weren't from Maine. That's the thing. They just came to Maine because we were so generous. And they just went back home. That's really what happened. I mean, they're not on the streets. They just returned home. But the Maine people, we really are concentrating on working with Maine people. And so what's happening now is young women, particularly the young women who have children, single moms, they're really the heroes in our state now. I am so proud of the results of some of these young ladies who have gone back to school, got CNAs, RNs, some are becoming teachers. It's just exciting to see what's happening with the younger group.
And the difference being that you've tried to help people get skills as opposed to just give them a check, right? I mean, has that been the main key?
The main issue is we take an interest in the people. We take an interest from the standpoint of doing the intake, understand what their needs are, understand where they are, and we work with them rather than just say thank you, we'll send you a check. We roll up our sleeves and we go to work with them. And that's the key. Having someone to talk to, someone to help you understand what an interview does. What do you do in an interview? What you do, just encouraging people, you can do it. I've lived the American dream, so it's easy for me to say, if I can do it, you can do it. And I can prove that I've done it. So it's exciting to see people moving up. And when you get those letters of thank you, Governor, I used to hate you, now I love you.
It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. So there's some gratification.
Governor LePage, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.